In this video, I'm making a jalapeno relish. You need about a pound of jalapenos. In my gardening video, as you've seen before, all of those peppers that I had, I was referring to this awesome relish recipe. Super easy. So here I'm just throwing all of those stems off of the jalapenos and putting it right into the food processor. I'm going to look for the heat, so I don't care if the seeds are in there, but if you prefer not to have such a spicy relish, you're going to want to remove the seeds from the jalapenos by slicing them in half and using a spoon to remove the seeds. That will remove the heat a little bit to your jalapeno relish. You're going to need a cup of onion to add to this. And then I just pulse it and mix it in the food processor. Very minimal work. I'm not getting my hands full of those spicy peppers. I don't have to chop them up finely and just easily mix it in there. So I do it in batches. That way I get it grated to the consistency of that I want for the relish. This relish is super on brats, super on hamburgers, great on hot dogs. I mean, if you're that person that likes a little heat to your food, excellent. You can also use this in any recipe for chili or for a stew. You can add a couple tablespoons. I've done before for myself just to add a little onion and jalapeno to my recipes. This, unfortunately, is not something that I can. I just make it and keep it in my fridge. I don't water bath it. I don't pressure cook it. I wish I could figure out how to do it, but this way I could preserve it a little longer, but this is kind of where it's at. So, but I do enjoy it, and it stays very long because it is in a vinegar process that you have to put in there. You just put some seasoning in there, so it stays pretty good. It keeps it being acidic. So here I am removing the batch of the cut up jalapenos with all those seeds and the onion, and I'm going to do another batch. I just keep saving these peppers from my garden. When I start getting big batches, I honestly just take the stems off, throw them in a Ziploc baggie, put them in my freezer until I get enough to make a batch of pepper relish. It doesn't take too long, as you've seen from my garden, and I have that for most of the season to be able to put on all of my cookout foods. It goes good in chicken. You could also marinate chicken in it if you added a couple tablespoons with 2 or 3 chicken breasts, and then add some olive oil, or if you're low carb, avocado oil, and add that in there. Be phenomenal. You could do it on pork. Never tried it on fish, but I guess there's a way to do that, I would assume. Here's where I show you. I save the scraps of the onions. I use it for later on, and I'll make chicken broth. So maybe I'll have another video with my homemade chicken broth or vegetable broth that I make just by saving the kitchen scraps. So I don't like to waste a lot of things. Either it will go to the chickens, or I put in my compost pile, or I'll save it in the freezer for some sort of stock. Some way or another, things can be reused to your best ability in order to get it to last as long as you can. And it's nice to know where all of these things coming from. I mean, I know where my compost would be coming from my chicken or kitchen scraps. I know where my eggs are coming from. They eat the bugs and fruits and vegetables in the yard, and the kitchen scraps as well. And then I make the broth, and knowing where all of that stuff comes from is very important to our family, especially nowadays when it's a very preservative world. Here I am, just letting that go. It's not complicated. Probably a little letting it go a little too long, but that's okay. It doesn't change the consistency. It doesn't start to make it pasty at all. It still stays to the finely chopped consistency. So that's the nice thing about these peppers. I don't have to worry about that. Jalapenos don't have a high water content, so it will not get mushy. So here I am again, removing that, moving my food processor to the side and out of the way. Add this to that bowl again. Cleaning up my mess. Just makes it easier in the long run. Here I'm putting the remainder. So for a pound, this is a pound of jalapenos and two medium, I would say, onions, which would equal a little over a cup. And then just going to scrape that food processor to get all of that lovely relish. If you're looking for what to do with peppers, this is an excellent recipe. I stumbled on it, probably maybe about 10 years ago. And every time I make it in the summer, it doesn't last for the whole year. And then, I use it on so many different things. So here I'm just kind of stirring it up. I'll slowly start adding all of the other ingredients to it. I add 1/3 cup of cider vinegar to it. I'll add a teaspoon, probably 2 teaspoons, just because I kind of doubled up a little bit. Teaspoons of garlic powder, 1/3 cup of avocado oil, and a half teaspoon to a full teaspoon of kosher salt to this. Here's the avocado oil. And then I'll put a little bit, it says that I should put in a teaspoon of sugar, but I usually substitute that with stevia because I'm low carb, so I will do that instead. And then I want to keep the color a little bit, so I'm going to add a little green food dye just so it stays nice and green so it doesn't change. So again, just mix and combine all of these ingredients. And then I just put it into some nice clean jars that I have that I've sterilized in the dishwasher. Again, I'm not canning this, so it does not matter. I will sometimes save jam jars, spaghetti jars, other jars. If I don't have any ball container jars, I'll find something else that I can, wash and sterilize and reuse, just to be able to have a container. So again, like I said, I'm not preserving this, so I'm not stressing about any potential bacteria. And it doesn't hurt that you've got apple cider vinegar in there. That kind of takes care of that acid between the peppers, which are kind of neutral, but it's spicy, so it has a little bit of an acidic side. The alkalinic side is your onions, and then your apple cider vinegar turns it up a little bit. So I just keep spooning it into those jars. And like I said, if anybody is a spicy food person and enjoys a little bit of flavor in their foods, this is the recipe for you. So with all of those peppers, I just about got, you'll see, 4 jars, which I'll have for the season. I will probably be down by next year. Maybe I can make it last. I don't know. It doesn't usually last that long because I put it on so many things. I'm a big chili and stew person in the fall, so it's a way to flavor my stews, soups, and chili in the fall. So, you know, I go through it pretty quick. And again, it's so nice just having it from your garden and knowing where you got all of these items. I'm just trying to add the remainder of what's left to those 4 jars. I don't have enough to make another jar, so I'm trying to, again, I'm not canning it, so I don't really care about a head space or anything like that. I'm fine with jamming it in there and getting it all the way to the top as much as I can, because it doesn't matter. I'll be in it probably within the week anyhow. Pretty easy. Didn't take but maybe 15 minutes to do. Simple thing. So if you're doing container gardening and you've got jalapeno pepper plant in a container, or you have a small little garden and you have jalapenos, or as you've seen in my other video for my garden, I have ghost peppers. I'm going to try a ghost pepper relish too. But this is what you can do with your peppers. Enjoy them. Flavor your food with them. This is fabulous. Like I said, definitely try this. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you come to see my other videos. Thank you so much. Bye.